It was a warm day just like today, with clear skies, a little breeze, and the temperature about 4 p.m. was 78 degrees, a few degrees shy of where it is today. But while that was a beautiful day, there was a shadow of worry and concern hanging over Sheridan, just as there was over most communities in the United States of America. Just about everyone in Sheridan, and indeed everyone in the nation, was consumed with a crisis that was facing our country. There was a worry that America's best days had come and gone, and all across the country people were gearing up to meet a new challenge. The original Whitney building, which you see before you at Sheridan College, was one of the ways that Sheridan responded. And I'm sure that this crisis was on the minds of the bold folks who raised money for the original building, and of the minds of these folks that were here for the groundbreaking back in May of 1958. You see, about 7 months earlier, on October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union launched a small satellite from an R-7 rocket platform and made an economic and technological challenge to this country, the likes of which we'd never known. In the weeks and months that followed, the whole nation was awakened from a kind of lazy slumber that we'd been through the early 1950s by this, what was then called the Sputnik crisis. It was the cover story in every magazine and newspaper, and a topic of conversation by neighbors across dining room tables all across America and here in Sheridan as well. And of course, the background for this was the comment by Khrushchev in 1956, "We will bury you." Just 7 months after the launch of Sputnik, I'm certain the folks who were here breaking ground on this site were thinking not just about the future of Sheridan and Sheridan College, the college they were building, but the very future of America. On the national level, the nation put its shoulder to the wheel. President Eisenhower created the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA. Those are the people who really did create the internet, in case you're wondering, or Al Gore's. And the internet, by the way, is how I found out what the exact temperature and weather conditions were at 4 o'clock on May 27th, 1958, and I did that in about 20 seconds. In addition, funding to the National Science Foundation was increased fourfold, and the National Defense Education Act was passed by Congress. Here in Sheridan, people responded by building a college. What an incredible response to the educational challenge of that day. You all know how things turned out. As a small boy, I watched on TV as American astronauts walked on the moon for the first time in July of 1969. And as a college student in Germany, I witnessed the fall of the Berlin Wall in November of 1989. And I think we can all remember New Year's Eve, December 31st, 1991, when the hammer and sickle was lowered for the last time from the Kremlin. Today, just as on that warm day in May of 1958, there's a serious challenge to our way of life and the future of our country and the future of Sheridan darkening our horizon. And once again, Sheridan is responding as we are about to break ground on the largest single investment in academic infrastructure in the history of Sheridan College. The new challenge comes not from a monolithic communist regime thousands of miles away. This time the adversary is different. Research supported by major foundations and institutions has concluded that the American dream is imperiled, and their work has culminated in two very significant calls to action from the Complete College America Initiative and the 21st Century Commission on the Future of Community Colleges. The United States, which for generations led the world in college degree completion, now ranks 16th in the world in completion rates for 25 to 34-year-olds. At the very time that global competitiveness depends on a well-educated citizenry, we're finding ourselves losing ground in relative educational attainment. And for the first time in our history as a nation, we're facing the prospect of a generation that will be less well-educated than their elders. Our skill gap relative to the rest of the world is most acute in areas like science, technology, engineering, and math, the so-called STEM disciplines. And it is no accident that these areas are the focus of our new Edward A. Whitney Academic Center. In addition, a major portion of the new building will house the Griffith Student Service Center and will be focused on helping students succeed in college. So once again, America is facing a very difficult challenge, and once again, the bold people of Sheridan are answering that challenge by rebuilding really, a college. I want to say a very sincere thank you to Whitney Benefits and to the state of Wyoming for this great gift. And thank you to the people of Sheridan for what you're doing to meet America's 21st century challenge. And I want you to know that in the months and years ahead, Sheridan College will do our part, just as we've done for all these decades, to make sure that our future citizens are able to enjoy the same prosperity and freedom that we do. And now,